Hello everyone. I am Mary. I am 25 years old this year, living with my brother Luca and my sister-in-law Helly. Since 2000, I was just a schoolgirl, around 10 years old. Unfortunately, my parents passed away, leaving me and my brother to live with my neighbor Bahu. At that time, my brother had become a handsome and superpowered millennial, and I was just a little girl. But after a while, my brother got married to my sister-in-law Helly. Our family moved to another house. My brother and I lived together in the same house. When my brother got married, I was still young. When I was about 12 years old, we moved to our own house. We lived separately for 2 years. My sister-in-law gave birth to a child. At that time, our situation was very difficult. There was no joy in the family, and even less money. We had to earn a living. New fashion items are never worn. Food like rice is only poured to survive the year. Normally, I take care of the baby for my sister-in-law. As usual, I go to work with my brother all day. One day in the afternoon, my brother comes to talk to me. He replied, "Our family situation. I don't need to say Mary also understand. He has decided to go to the city to learn dental repair, to see if we can get some money so Mary can go back to school." My brother first went to school for a long time, about 3 to 4 months. And finally my brother learned. His job also went to different places to treat people with toothache, from one connection to another. At first, my brother only stayed at the nearest place, but the money was still not enough to live, forcing my brother to go far away. A time passed. My brother was gone for nearly half a month. One afternoon my brother came back. My sister-in-law and I were very happy to see that Luca had returned. During the time when my brother Luca had been away on business for a month or 2 or 3 months, he could not return home. In the quiet village, there was no phone call. Only the village chief in our village had one. But in order to be able to contact, everyone had to climb up a high hill near the village facing the waves. Only then could they contact. Those who needed to call had to climb up that mountain to make a phone call. One morning, the sun was dim and yellow. I went up to call Luca. Those calls could only be made by people at home. My brother Luca also bought a cheap phone. Whenever my sister-in-law and I wanted to meet Luca, we had to climb up there to call and ask where Luca was. Time passed very quickly. My brother Luca. "I also earned a little money to live," he replied. "I have to change my career. My sister-in-law and younger sister stay home to do housework." My brother Luca went away for a long time, 3 to 4 months, and he only came back once every 3 to 4 days. I replied. Then he left again. "Where did he go during his time away?" He replied. "He went from village to village, and many people knew him, sharing their pain to cure them. I went here for about 5 to 6 days, then went to another village for 5 to 6 days, just like that, sister. This year I have to continue going. Until my child is 2 years old, then I will take you." I replied. Yes. For about 3 to 4 days, my brother Luca went away. My sister-in-law is a farmer, and she also has a very beautiful body. During her working hours, when she goes, she leaves the child to me, and when I go, my sister-in-law takes care of the child at home and walks around the village alone. In that village there were many men who talked to my sister-in-law. My sister did not refuse any situation. One day I went to work. I replied, "Let me go. Sister-in-law, stay home to look after the baby because the child doesn't like me very much." For a long time when I went to work, I prepared to sleep in the fields for 3 to 4 days before coming home once. My brother went to work to earn money. It took a long time. So I didn't think that this year my sister-in-law started having affairs with men outside. One day I went to work. I replied, "Sister-in-law, stay home to take care of the baby. I'm leaving now and probably won't be able to come back." My sister-in-law replied, Yes. Mary isn't coming back. Okay, let me look after the baby today. When Mary comes back, I'll go. At that time I went to work and a whole day had passed. I looked back in my bag. I didn't bring rice and food, and I thought if I didn't go home I wouldn't be able to sleep all night. I decided and I went home. When I got to the village entrance, some houses were already asleep. I came to the door and knocked. Sister, open the door for me. Sister, can you hear me? Open the door, I'm going home. I heard men's voices in the house. I replied once. Sister, you are not asleep yet. Please open the door so I can come in. At that time, my sister ran as if she was grabbing something, and she opened the door for me. My sister-in-law replied, Mary said that today, Mary will not come back. I saw that my sister-in-law was trembling slightly when she spoke. I replied, because I forgot to bring rice and food, I came back. Luckily, I just went to school. At that moment, I suspected that my sister-in-law was having an affair. In the morning, the sun was shining brightly. I had prepared breakfast. I gently called my sister-in-law to wake her up. We had finished breakfast, but our little child had not yet woken up. My job was to go back to work on the farm. I replied, I will be gone for about 3 or 4 days before I return. My sister-in-law replied, Yes. So actually Mary will be gone for about a few days. I replied, 2 to 3 days if the earliest time. I have been gone for about 2 days, but I have a thought that about the lucky day I will come back. But I have created a thought, and suspecting my sister-in-law, I came home very late one night to check on my sister-in-law's situation. It was quite a while when I got home, but this time I did not knock on the door. I went to sit in a corner of the house near my sister-in-law's bed. I discovered a man sitting and chatting with my sister-in-law. I thought, why is there a man at this hour with my sister-in-law? Is it my brother Luca coming back? I looked around and found out it was not my brother. A while later my sister-in-law led him into my brother's bedroom. At that time I went into the house and sat down on the bed cover, and I heard my sister-in-law reply, Let's take off our clothes and go to sleep first. My sister-in-law and that man did not think that anyone would see. I heard my sister-in-law's voice softly and replied, Hurry up, I can't wait anymore. After you've taken so long. My sister-in-law and that man had sex for a very long time. They were both happy and laughing. After a while, my sister-in-law and that man seemed to have finished their work, and they went to sleep. I had a thought, why did my sister-in-law have an affair with another man? My brother Luca went to work to earn money. I really wanted to contact him, but it wasn't like I thought. He went to work far away. If I contacted him, I was afraid he would be sad. And I kept it in my heart, and didn't share it with my brother. One afternoon that day, I went home and saw that Luca had already come home, and I had a thought, should I share it with him? For a while, I thought and was confused. My sister-in-law knew about this. She made moves to keep me from sharing it with my brother. I thought for a while if I shared it with Luca then this family would surely fall apart. I made a decision to keep this a secret. After that I saw my brother come back. I was very happy. 7 days later he went to the hospital again. From that day on my sister-in-law did not have an affair anymore, and she was very attentive to her sister going to work with me. She interfered with me like a child. My brother went to earn money to take care of the family. My sister and I always stayed at the farmhouse. The story of my sister-in-law's family's affair has ended. Congratulations to everyone for interrupting the whole video. If you find it interesting, please give me a like button so you don't miss the next video.